show you my chess tempo book, Attacking the King Made Easy. So that's the cover. Okay, so we've got an introduction which includes the phases of the games and so forth. We look at the contents. We look at different king positions and pawn formations in front of the king. Got back rank attacks. There's quite a lot of checkmates happen on the back rank. So each of these sort of chapters have study positions, or in some cases you can solve the positions. So they're reasonably basic, so they're good for less experienced players. They start off with fairly easy positions. So look at this one, this is a fairly easy mate and two. Back rank on the coming. And they gradually get more and more complex. So this is a rather clever one where the white queen goes behind the black rook. It's defended by X-ray. Now it's going to be mate next move after the black box with the queen. Go back. We'll again look at the contents. Back rank mates. We've got unstoppable mate, which is basically threatening mate. Oops, go back. Click on study. So white has a pawn on f6 right near the black king, controlling the square in front. It's very useful. White can get a queen here, be mate. So queen moves in, and black doesn't have any checks. Black cannot capture the pawn or the queen or defend the square. So next move, mate is going to happen on g7. So we've got back rank mates, unstoppable mates, mates on the g7 square. We do it from the point of view with white trying to checkmate black most of the time, but the same ideas apply if black is attacking white, or if the king is on the queen side instead of the king side. But mate threats on h7. That's another weak spot. So white queen's attacking the h7 square. If white can bring up another piece to control the square, queen to h7 would be mate. So the knight moves in to threaten mate on h7. Black takes it. Now the h file is open. The queen comes back. Mate, thanks to the white bishop controlling the escape square. So we go back, and again we look at the contents. We've got sacrifices. Sacrifices are an important tool when attacking the king. Sometimes you sacrifice pawns, sometimes a bishop or knight, sometimes even a rook or queen, or more. So there's lots of fairly standard sacrifices, and again you can study the positions or solve them yourself. So you have a quick look at sacrifice. Got the classic bishop sacrifice here. So this is when a bishop is attacking the rook's pawn, which is next to the king, which is castle kingside. And of course the same thing might happen with black attacking white, or it could even happen on the queen side. So here the white has an open h file, which helps because the rook can get into the attack. The knight is attacking squares near the black king, and the white queen is pretty close as well. So the bishop sacrifices. If the king takes, the queen can join the attack. Now the rook can line up behind the queen, and black tries to run away, but it's not going to help because of mate on h8. If we go back a move, if black tried moving this pawn, it's not going to help because the knight will still control f7, so the king won't be able to escape. Okay, so the sacrifices chapter has a whole bunch of relatively standard sacrifices that happen again and again, so they're well worth knowing. Okay, attacking the uncastled king, so sometimes you can catch the king right in the opening. So this is This is a position I've had a few times in blitz games and so forth. So the f7 square is a soft point in the black position at the start of the game. The only piece defending it is the king, and the more valuable the piece, the weaker the defence. So white sacrifices the bishop to draw the king into the open, follows up with a knight check, and now white can make a knight fork, and after winning the queen, white will gain material having gained the queen for a knight and bishop. Black could have done a different defence. King could have gone straight back to e8 rather than going to f8. But again, knight moves into e6 and traps the black queen. The other thing that could have happened is the king could have moved forward after the knight check. It tends to be very dangerous to move the king to the third rank or more early in the game. In this position, white has mate in 1. So all the squares adjacent to the black king are controlled by white. White brings up the queen and mates. Okay, we go back. Look at the next chapter. Go to the contents. Pawn storms. Different attacks. Pawn storms. You can do pawn storms when kings are castled on the same side. It tends to be easier to do a pawn storm when the kings are on opposite sides, because when you move your pawns forward, you don't open up your own king. So I've got various ideas to do with, well, this one. So both sides of the castle on opposite sides. That means white can throw up the kingside pawns without weakening his own position, and black can throw up his queenside pawns without weakening the black king position. So the queen is attacking squares right near the black king. So white can charge up the h pawn, and black is doing a similar thing. So white wants to open the h file, and black can play b4 at some point, try and open the b file. So this will bring the white rook into the attack on the king, which will be extremely dangerous for black. So we go back, we have a look at the contents, and there's a chapter on defending the king, and different strategies for defending the king. Here's a simple one. Black is in trouble. Although being a rook up, black is threatened with mate on g7. Very difficult to stop. Black can force an exchange of queens, which is one of the best ways to meet an attack on the king, owing to the queen being the best piece to attack the king with. And that's the end of the white attack, and black was left with a rook ahead. Okay, so there's many more positions in the chapter. We just looked at the first ones in most of the chapters. Okay, well, probably suitable for players below about 1400. So thank you for watching. Okay, bye.